Warning. This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
Yo, what's going on? I am Scoots Bronson.
And I am S. Foster.
That's right, and you tuned into another episode of the Viewers Anonymous podcast where we give you our very own reviews and takes of movies and TV straight out of Hollywood. What's up, bro?
Man, just it's been a busy weekend for myself, man. Had a lot of things to do, a lot of things to get straightened out, but we here. You know what I'm saying? We're a day late, well, 2 days late when it's come out, but
Right.
but yeah, man, we still here for the people. What's good with you?
Man, slow motion, man. Been at hella soccer games this weekend, so that's been my whole weekend, bro. It's been good weather, so I ain't complaining, but just hella soccer games. But
That's what's up, man.
man, listen, ladies and gentlemen, for one, I don't know how S Dot feels about this because we didn't get too much pre-pro in, but I am excited to talk about this film today. This was honestly right up my alley. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? After I
Mhm.
finished this one, I was like, I feel real good about this pot. But before we get to that, you know what I'm saying? We got to give you the tidbits, man. We got to give you the trailers. We got to give you the side to the main entree, man. In our segment that we call "What We Watching." You ready, bro?
Yes, sir.
What we watching?
What we watching?
All right, man. What you got for us this week?
All right, man. I got two this week. I had a chance to watch this new Hulu movie. Um, Found out something new by watching it. The main character, her name is Nico Parker, and I was like, all right, that's not ringing a bell. But I was like, yo, I'm looking at her, I'm like, yo, she looked like somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your lady that was oh man, she was in uh Pursuit of Happiness. She was Will's mom, the deadbeat mom. What's that lady name? Light
Oh,
skinned
his
lady.
wife.
Yeah. She was in your show
Mm-hmm.
you had me watching.
What?
What was that? That show with the robot people and stuff?
Oh, Westworld.
Uh, yeah, Westworld.
You talking about Thandie Newton?
Yes, her. Her
Oh, that's
daughter's
her
in this
daughter.
movie.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, yeah. But it's called oh man, it's called Suncoast,
Okay.
and basically it's a movie about this teenage girl and her teenage brother, and he must have like I think he got cancer,
Mm-hmm.
and so she's kind of like her mom is working, and they end up having to put him in a hospice place because he only got like so much time to live. But while her mom is working and going straight to the hospice place, she's staying at home by herself. So she ended up, getting with some friends at school and things like that. And then she ended up having friends coming over, and like she's starting to become like, somewhat popular or whatever. She's usually like the girl that's not really popular and all this type of stuff. But because she got a crib that everybody can kind of party at, so people hanging out with her.
The
But at the
usual.
same time, yeah, but at the same time, his brother's dying. So her mom got on her about that, and like she's kind of conflicted where she kind of feel like her brother is kind of like really kind of like getting all the attention and but
Yeah,
not even
young.
really that. Not maybe I shouldn't say that. It was more of like I guess she kind
She
of felt
feeling
like her.
neglected.
Yeah, she kind of felt
Mm-hmm.
neglected because her mom was going to work and then going straight to the hospice place. But
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't really registering to her to like, yo, your
Hold on.
brother
Is
could
she in high
die.
school?
Yeah.
This
And,
ungrateful little
yeah.
I almost
And
said the
this
B word.
but I think the whole concept of what this movie really is just the fact of like, what I mean, if because he I mean you obviously you could watch the trailer and really kind of tell like
Yeah.
he passed away and she wasn't there and she regretted it. You know what I mean? For and little stuff like that. But it was a cool little joint, man. I was still mad at who her mom's was though. My lady from Ozark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I still don't fuck with her because what I'm saying how ungrateful she was at Ozark. So
Okay.
we
Yeah.
we just got beef for no reason. Um, But then the other thing I watched, it's a Hulu show. It's called Under the Bridge, and it's
Mhm.
actually like based on true story, based on the true events. But they put their own Hollywood spin on
Spin
it as
on it.
well,
Yeah.
where this Indian girl got into a little bit of trouble. She's hanging out with these girls that live in like a halfway house, whatever. And like she's obviously it's based in the 90s, like 1997, somewhere around there. But like a lot of those Indian people have like certain religion things where they don't shave their legs and all that stuff like that. So she get picked on at school and all this little shit like that. And so she got fond of this devil girl named Josephine, and
Mhm.
she just all obsessed with wanting to go to New York and meet John Gotti for some odd reason. And so anyway, so a murder happens, and it's the Indian girl, and it got your girl in it, Lily Gladstone. She's in it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, she's the like the main cop or whatever, whatnot. But I'm not gonna get too deep into it. There's only 3 episodes out right now.
Oh, okay.
But dude, I think you'll fuck with it, man. I
Okay.
will say a little bit when I watched it, even though don't get me wrong, like Mayor of Easttown is up here. It
Mhm.
just give me those vibes. That's all.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm not
Nice.
saying it's as
Nice.
good as it. I'm just saying it give me those
Same.
vibes.
That same. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That same feel.
So
Okay.
yeah. So I got Suncoast, which you can watch on Hulu, and also Under the Bridge, a Hulu TV show.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's what I got.
Man, so for me, first and foremost, I have this show on Netflix. I'm not sure. I believe it just recently came out. I'm not sure like how recent. It might have been maybe this month, but it's called Baby Reindeer, and it is about a stalker and her prey. Is the main character is her prey, but basically, um it's a nice little twist on a stalker stalky dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Some crazy shit happens in this show. So trigger warning for anybody who has dealt with any kind of trauma. Be careful watching this because there's some things in this show that get real wild. But definitely check it out. It's worth a watch. Um, man, it's one of those Netflix joints that definitely should be talked about. It's called Baby Reindeer, by the way. And
Okay.
then second, Paramount Plus, man, Knuckles. You know, they been coming out with the Sonic movies. They decided to do a series. And this one is about Knuckles, and he goes on an adventure with, you know what I'm saying, his human character. They do their thing to fight back against the gun agency. It was me and my sons watching it. They loved it. You know what I'm saying? They had a blast watching it. So if you got any, you know what I'm saying, kids that's in the video games or in the cartoons and stuff like that, this is perfect. You know what I'm saying? Great family show to watch. Some lessons and stuff in there, you know what I'm saying? So perfect show for you guys to sit down and kick back and, you know what I'm saying, binge watch. But that is on Paramount Plus, and man, that's all I got.
Okay. Oh
So
shit.
let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. First and foremost, I want to say this is what the fuck I'm talking about. Do you hear me? When I say I want creativity, when I say I want something outside the box, when I say I want something that really hasn't been done or hasn't been touched, right, in films, um, this is what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Now, we talking about the Book of Clarence. This film came out in 2003, rated PG-13, with a 2 hour
2023.
and I said 2003, didn't I?
Yeah.
I know, bro. I do this every time. I do this every time. I say 2002, 2000, 2023. Thank you for catching me on that. Goodness gracious, I gotta work on that. But it's a two hour and 9 minute runtime. Starring Lakeith Stanfield, Omar Sy, Anna Jop, and R.J. Seiler amongst a cast of
Mhm.
stars. You know what I'm saying? Um, It is directed and written by Jeymes Samuel. I'm sorry if you don't know who Jeymes Samuel is. He has done he did The Harder They Fall on Netflix, which was also a brilliant film, also a very creative film, in conjunction with Jay-Z and a bunch of other people. So they're really putting their foot into this creative bag and putting out some, some content. So first and foremost, this film is about a man in Jerusalem, named Clarence, who is a twin, and his brother Thomas is one of the disciples of Jesus. And of course, Thomas is the believer. Clarence is not a believer. Excuse me. And basically, we go on this journey of Clarence eventually believing in Jesus Christ and God and so on and so forth. So that's pretty much the breakdown of this movie. Um, so first and foremost, Lakeith Stanfield, bro, what can't this nigga do?
I think Lakeith Stanfield is becoming one of the best actors in the world right now.
For
Um,
sure.
and his when you even when you look at his IMDb, like it's first of all, it's very diverse. It's a lot of different things in there,
Absolutely.
but I remember when we did like, and now I always thought that he was good. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Hmm.
was like, man, every time he do something, he do pretty good. But when I saw when I really started to really like shoot him up the list, you know what I'm saying? Like it was Judas and the Black Messiah. Well, I was
Absolutely.
like, wow,
Absolutely.
like this dude, he's really another level. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like if I had to give like a comparison, like when I tell like like my top five rappers or whatever and all this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I give you boom, 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 right? Now I'd be like,
Hmm.
but I was like, but if you ask me like right now, like who's my favorite like rapper,
Hmm.
the name is different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I say something like Bodie James or something.
Yeah.
That's like the Keith Stanfield to me now.
Okay.
It's like I got like a top five actors or whatever,
Hmm.
but it's like this dude, man, he's yo, why he's
Yeah.
and I think that when it's all said and done, and I know a lot of people like to, because I follow him on Instagram, and
Hmm.
and I think he likes to troll people though. I think a lot of the times he's
Yeah.
really just trolling,
I agree. I agree.
but I think that you can look at him as a person, and you can look at him as a person on screen, and when you look at him on screen, like dude, he's really like we all thought that the way now. Don't get me wrong, like he's still got a ways to go.
Hmm.
When even with the name that I'm about to say, because you know one thing that we love to do, and I think we do a podcast, so we got to have like the discussions or whatever.
Hmm.
But it's kind of like Denzel is kind of like that bar. It's like who's
Yeah.
like the next Denzel,
Yeah.
and I think the person that like the industry's trying to shape it to be is Michael B. Jordan. Now, is Michael B. Jordan still doing? He's still doing a great job. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
He, you know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? He
Without
just
question.
directed a movie, which I don't even understand why it didn't get the praise that it. You know what I
I
mean? Like
that's why. That's why
I,
I think
dude, I thought Creed 3 was
was
amazing,
phenomenal. Yeah, it was
and he
phenomenal.
directed it too. I was like, yo,
Mhm.
like, so he's still on there, but I'm just saying, like, the key is kind of like, you know what I'm saying? He's creeping in there, man. He's
Man,
creeping in there.
listen. Man, listen, man. Listen, brother. I have to backtrack. I have to apologize. I have to retract the statement. I'm not
Okay.
sure what podcast it was, but it wasn't too far. It wasn't too far back. Maybe within the last five shows we did.
Okay.
I asked the question. I said, "Who are the new actors of today?" Right, and I believe I said that there are no new names that I'm saying, like we barely know any of the new people. Right,
Hmm.
I'm wrong. I'm totally wrong. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I don't know what happened. Maybe I slipped something in my drink. I don't know, but I apologize not just to the fans, but to those out there in Hollywood that's doing their thing, because the cast of Atlanta, just those four, the cast of Atlanta are fucking killing shit right now, bro.
Mhm.
Lakeith, Donald, um, uh, what is it? Brian
Zazie,
Tyree and
yeah.
Zazie Beach, bro. Hey, I just watched, I just rewatched Joker with Joaquin Phoenix.
Hmm.
Totally forgot Zazie Beach was in it.
Yeah,
She
she
just
lived in an apartment. She like his neighbor.
she just in shit, bro. She just in she working. Brian Tyree Henry, he just in shit, working. Lakeith working. You know what I'm saying? Donald writing shit, working. So like that cast alone is there, bro. They really murdering right now. Not to mention how phenomenal Atlanta is as a show, right? So
Mhm.
um, but that's just speaking of Lakeith, bro. Like he really made this movie his own. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, I got to give him credit because he's playing two parts. You automatically got to give him his credit for that, because that's not an easy feat. Um,
Mhm.
it it's not, you know what I'm saying, it's not too much as far as the makeup and hair and all that he had to work with. So I think that made it a tad bit easier. But as far as trying to be both of those characters in this type of a movie, I think it's something that, you know what I'm saying, that's not an easy feat. But he laid it down, he did his thing. RJ Seiler is another one of those people that I gotta give credit to. He was just in, I just last seen him in the TV show on HBO Max, Rap Shit, um about the two girl rappers that the City Girls helped, you know what I'm saying, write and produce and all that. Phenomenal show. They canceled it, but it was a great show. It was another one of Issa Rae's, you know what I'm saying, creations. Phenomenal. Great show. Um and he was in that. Omar Sy, I haven't seen him in a while, but he's been in some good movies. You know what I'm saying? As far as like those action movies and stuff like that, he's been in some good things. And then Anna Diop, I seen her last in Titans. They did a live action version of the Teen Titans, and she was Starfire. Great job. She killed that shit. So to see these people in here, in this type of production, with this type of creativity, with, you know what I'm saying, the culture around it, it was like it was the same feeling as you felt when you watched The Harder They Fall. You know what I'm saying? You had that same sense of pride. You had that same sense of joy seeing these faces on screen, seeing these people come together and do their thing. The Harder They Fall, I feel like was a little bit of the older, you know what I'm saying, like the older actors, the ones who have already kind of been there doing their thing and everything else. And I feel like this one was introducing that new generation, that new cast, that new, you know what I'm saying, class into our faces and giving us a taste of what they can offer. Um, but the people in this, bro. First and foremost, let me say this: when when we get movies like this, right, and it's by black people, and real quick, I didn't know that Jeymes Samuel was Seal's brother.
And it is.
So not only did he direct this, not only did he write this, he helped with the music in this. So he literally, like, this is all same with The Harder They Fall. Like he literally is doing everything in this joint, right?
Yeah.
Um, but the one thing I do appreciate about this movie is the fact that um you have a sense of comedy in it, right? But you also have this thing where it's not the typical biblical movie. You don't have all these people walking around with British accents when they're supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, like African accents. But in this one,
Hmm.
you got a lot of people with African accents in it. And I like the dynamic that they had between the Romans and, you know what I'm saying, the people from Jerusalem. I also appreciated the fact that they kind of changed a little bit of, you know what I'm saying, they kind of put a little bit of spin on the story. So if you know the story of the crucifixion of Jesus, you kind of know like Barabbas and what they did with Barabbas, he was supposed to be like a murderer. Well, in this one, he's like a gladiator slash slave. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was an interesting take, an interesting spin on that person. Um, I thought it was interesting because of the apostles, John the Baptist wasn't one of the apostles. He was actually out there like baptizing people,
Baptizing people, yeah.
which was one of the best scenes in this whole fucking film, bro. When he slapped the shit out of that nigga, bro. Hey, bro. Hey, bro. That shit was funny as fuck. That nigga asked Elijah, bro. Elijah was like, wait, you drowned him. He said, you want to be slapped too? He was like, I thought that shit was great. But no, just all together, man, like this film was refreshing to see. Um every I've been telling people, bro, to me, this was a black cultural spin on the Passion of Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the
Yes.
closest I can give you to what this really is. And it felt like everything about this film, it was just a good way to um introduce, you know what I'm saying, like a refreshing take on a religious film. That's I mean, I don't even know how to go beyond that, honestly.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
I understand.
oh, go
I
ahead.
understand exactly what you're saying, but I also wanted to piggyback off what you were saying um, about like young actors. Man, we got to give Caleb McLaughlin some love real quick because
Hmm.
for the Stranger Things fans out here, he's been doing
Hmm.
that show since 2016,
Yep.
killing it. Right. He also played young Ricky in the New Edition story. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? He also was in that Cocaine Cowboys movie. Well,
Hmm.
Cowboys. And you know what I'm saying? He did the best in vision of LL Cool J uh doing a bad joint on that
Hmm.
damn lip singing show.
Okay.
So he killed that.
Okay.
But no, I think dude, he's like, and he was also in that Shooting Stars. So I think he's another one of those young ones, but he also, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's a rapper. He's a rapper or a singer. I can't remember which one it is,
Hmm.
but I do know he's in music as well. But him being in this and playing Dirty Zeke, man, he kind of made that his own, man. In a way, like I think that with this movie having as many stars that this movie have in it, I think that everybody found their screen time, and they made the best of every single
Right.
time they made an appearance on there. So I also wanted to give him a shout out as well, is what you were saying.
Hmm.
But I do agree with you. I was thinking the same thing. I remember when Passion of the Christ first came out, and my cousin Brandon never asked me to watch anything. He
Hmm.
always just like, yo, you ever seen this? You ever seen this? And he was just like, yo, you gotta watch Passion of the Christ. I'm like, I don't want to watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I only watched Passion of the Christ because like it was kind of like forced upon me.
Okay. Real quick, where did you go see it though? Like, did you see it at home or did you see it in the theater?
Oh, I saw it at home, man, bootleg.
Oh,
Um,
that's crazy. You bootleg Jesus, my nigga. Yo, that's wild. My nigga bootleg Jesus, bro. That's crazy,
hey,
bro.
oh man. So yeah, that was
Don't tell nobody else that story, bro. Just say you seen that shit at the house. That's crazy. Bootlegging Jesus is wild, my nigga. Whoever said
oh
that is going
man.
straight to hell.
Oh,
That's funny as fuck, bro.
oh man. But no, man, that's a great comparison, man, because but also when you're talking about the director guy, when you look at the
Hmm.
harder they fall, now this been, I mean, what I'm about to say has been done before, but
Hmm.
it was just basically, what I'm saying, a black western. You know what I'm saying, giving it G
Yeah,
that different spin. Now, what's the name? Already did it. Mario Van Peebles. He had his
a
version
bunch
or
of them.
whatever.
A bunch of them.
And there was a woman one too. With
Yep. With Lisa Ray,
uh,
Lil Kim,
Lisa Ray. Yep.
It was a bunch. I
Uh,
forgot what it's called, but that
I
shit was
think was
good.
Maya in it. No,
Maya
no, it
was Maya
Maya.
might have been in it.
Was it Maya?
It might have been
Felt like
Maya.
Maya was in it. But but we've seen different versions of
Yeah.
black westerns,
Yep.
but we never really seen this. And I think that
Hmm.
before the times being what it is, like I don't see nobody trying to do this in 2003. You know what I'm saying?
Hell no.
Like
You know
really
what?
trying to get.
You right.
I think the climate now is different, and I think that with him doing it now, I don't think nobody really would. This really wouldn't have been something that people would have went to go see. I still don't know a lot of people who really seen this yet,
Right. Me either.
but no, they put their spin on it. It was a great spin that they put on it because the thing is, man, that we keep getting the same version, man, and they remixed this shit and
Bro,
actually gave this shit some
I'm gonna be
life.
honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. This was the most believable biblical movie I've seen ever. For the first time in a long time, the cast wasn't a bunch of, and no offense when I say this, the cast was not a bunch of dirty white people walking around in dusty ass Jerusalem, clean as hell and dirty as hell at the same time.
Clean
You know
as
what I'm
hell, but
saying?
dirty as hell.
You know what I'm saying? None of them had tans in the old ones. None of them was nowhere like none of them. They could at least just went and got a bunch of like Sicilian Italians and made it, but they didn't even do that. Like these motherfuckers was like pasty white British people playing. You know what I'm saying? People who were definitely dark skinned in a hot ass place like Jerusalem, all the way back in 18 how I mean 800 however. You feel what I'm saying? Like it
Yeah,
just made sense that everybody around there was of some sort of melanin. I don't give a fuck if they would have made this movie for light skinned people. It still would have made more sense than to have a bunch of British motherfuckers running around making this
yeah.
film. You know what I'm saying? I don't make Moses. It's not gonna hit the same if Moses is British. I'm sorry.
Facts.
They definitely wasn't saying thou art and whilst and all that shit in Jerusalem at the time that Jesus was walking around. Okay, it just didn't happen, bro. You know what I'm saying? What's the nigga what's the nigga that played Moses, the white dude that played Moses? Like that shit come on every Easter and shit like that. He was the NRA man for the longest. I forgot what his name is.
NRA, man.
I'm about to look him up. Hold on. I'm about to tell you exactly.
Oh,
If I tell you who it is, you might know who this nigga is.
play Moses.
Mm, mm, mm.
Man, who's playing Moses? I don't know who's playing Moses. I mean, there
What
wasn't
is it?
many white people in it.
What in Moses?
Hold on, was Moses?
Nigga, wasn't no black people in that. What are you talking about?
Oh, you talking about? Oh, I thought you were talking about in this.
No, 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 no. I'm talking. Oh, that's
Oh,
never mind. It was the Ten Commandments movie. I can't think of what this nigga's name is, bro.
yeah, I see.
It's right on the tip of my tongue too. But once I see this, I'll be able to tell you who it is. Um, where's this nigga at?
Yeah, I thought you was talking about this. I was like, I don't remember somebody doing Moses.
Charlton Heston. That's his name. Charlton Heston. It just came to me. Charleston Heston or something like that. Charleston Heston. But this nigga was like a huge NRA nigga for like the longest, bro. But
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
this nigga was the nigga that played Moses a long time ago when they was doing all the British people and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, them shit used to be trash. I mean, it's weird, bro. Like every time we get these type of movies, like even when they did like the Gods of Egypt too, but the Gods of Egypt, I forgot what the one movie was with Christian Bale where he was Moses, and it was just all of these shits, bro. They just keep putting all of these people in here who ain't supposed to be in here for real. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then when they do put them
Well,
in there, they don't give them the right roles.
well, I'm gonna tell you what I thought was the most unique thing
Hmm.
ever, and it was the at the end of the movie where they was doing the crucifixion. Well, it was not crucifixion, but the
Oh, you said it right.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So you know they cleaned up. What's my man name? Doctor
Benedict
Strange.
Cumberbatch. The
Yeah, because he was out. He was that motherfucker was almost
hey,
blackface.
hey, boy, that nigga came out looking sparkly clean. You hear me? My man had the curl. He had the fresh curl. My man had the fresh threads. And then, not for nothing, bro. When I tell you this another thing I like about this movie too. It's a lot of like layered sarcasm in this movie. Bunch of layered sarcasm in this movie. Perfect example is what you're talking about. Jesus come touch this nigga hand. He asked for a couple shillings. Jesus come touch this nigga hand. This nigga just dropping them shits out his hand. They clean this nigga up, right? He finally could pay for a cleanup. He get a bath, you know what I'm saying? My nigga get the Snoop Dogg perm. My nigga get out here killing shit. He killing the game. Then when he get in front of the window, they like, wait a minute, is that? And they look and they like, yo, this nigga just looks so pure. He just looks so clean.
Yeah.
So he walking around looking like Caesar Borgia, bro. Hilarious. I thought that was amazing. I thought that
But
was funny as shit, bro.
I thought it was too, but I also thought it was like you said, it was that different type of sarcasm.
Mm-hmm.
So when they were doing that, they had him on the cross in front of everybody,
Mm-hmm.
and they even he said, "Yo, even the gentleman is painting me right now."
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and what they're saying is like, "Yo, like this person who was just a homeless white man,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna say, oh, well, this is who Jesus is because he just couldn't be a black man. Like so we just gonna this
Absolutely.
one white guy
Absolutely.
that's up front with flowing hair. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? We're gonna say that this is Jesus right here, and like all these people on the cross, you only painting the one white guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought that that was interesting for them to put that in the movie to be like, yo, like out of all of these people, like this person, like Benedict Cumberbatch probably only had to film for like a day. Like
Bro, but when
he
I
was only
tell
he was only like he was like four
when
scenes, and
when
that
I
was it.
tell you he delivered though, when I first
Oh
seen
yeah,
him, when you first see him on film, right? It's early in the movie. This like damn near the
it's the
open. It's the
first
opening.
scene.
Yeah, it's the
It's
opening.
the opening. Yeah.
You don't even realize that's who it is.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
I had no idea that was him at first. The second time I seen him, I looked, I was like, damn, he looked familiar. Still didn't know it. Finally, in the scene where he talking to Jesus and he get the coins and shit, and I looked at his face, I was like, oh shit, that's motherfucking Doctor Strange. I said, oh, okay, that makes sense. I said, okay, cool. That shit was he did a great job though. He did a phenomenal job, bro.
He did, but I thought that was very interesting, and I think that it was messaging. I
Mm-hmm.
think that
It's a lot of that in this
only
film too.
yeah, and there's only a certain amount of people that's really gonna get it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like because for them to even when they did the whole thing of the Last Supper, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like when they reenacted that, but they
Yeah.
did it in a way more creative way.
Mm-hmm.
Like so, I thought that that was dope. I thought that that was dope as well, man. They just found a way to take a story that's like the oldest story of all time
Mm-hmm.
and to remix it in the way that they did and to make it make sense the way that they did, but also put this whole thing centered around a person that was a non-believer. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? But not only was he a non-believer, but he showed you how easily you can manipulate people.
Yes.
And I think that
Yes.
that was like really one of the main things about this movie is just showing you manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
Where this guy's like, okay, so I'm gonna go to Virgin Mary and be like, yo, like, how did Jesus do all of this?
Yeah.
Like, do all of this shit? You know
Bro,
what I'm saying?
how you do these tricks? She's like, what
Yeah, how
tricks?
you do these tricks?
Yeah,
He was
what
like, yo,
tricks
I
you
said,
doing?
no, it was so funny when he said, when he was like, yeah, I'm not getting anywhere with you, like,
No,
so,
you know what?
so,
That might have been the funniest scene. I take that back. That might have been the funniest scene in the film, bro. When that nigga was sitting there with Mary and he was sitting there with what's his name, John.
was it John? I don't remember what the
What the
husband
fuck
name
is
was.
Jesus' stepdaddy name, bro?
I don't remember.
I can't
James.
believe. No, that ain't James.
James.
Mm-mm.
Man, they guys just kind of look like that
I
guy.
should know this, bro.
But yeah, and you.
Joseph. I don't know what I said. James. I was close. Joseph, right? He's sitting there with Mary and Joseph, right? Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Duh. Anyway, this nigga was like, "Wait a minute. So you telling me that you just ended up pregnant? Like, and he ain't had nothing to do with it?" He was like,
Yeah.
he was like, I mean, basically, he was like, no, she said, yeah. He was like, and you believe that? He was like,
No,
hey,
that
bro,
was funny.
that shit
But
was hilarious, bro.
I like the part when they went to go meet with old dude. When he was like, I know why you here because you lost you lost the race, you lost my horses, and you owe me this money. He's
Hmm.
like, yo, he's like, I still got 30 days to pay you back. So he was like, basically, get out of here before I cut it down to zero. He's walking out. The
Oh
guy
my
said,
god,
get
bro.
out.
They both stopped and looked at him like, nigga,
He's
what
like,
the fuck?
we literally walking out.
Hey, man, but you know what though? That's what I appreciated about this so much, bro. It was some sort of levity to it. You feel me? It wasn't one of those movies that was like straight off serious. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You had some moments in there, and once again, same thing in the harder they fall. It was moments in there that made you laugh. It was moments in there that kind of lightened it up from this, especially with this topic, with what they covering in this film. It can get heavy. It get real
yeah,
heavy real quick, and they did a great job of balancing that out. Like it wasn't always, you know what I'm saying, that to the point. First off, the brilliance in making this nigga Clarence a weed man in Jerusalem is hilarious. That
yeah.
was that was genius. That was fucking genius. I'm like, nigga, why didn't
That was
nobody think
funny.
of this beforehand? That was genius. This nigga was
That was
selling weed
funny.
in Jerusalem at the time.
On the back of a horse carriage.
At the time Jesus was born, bro. That shit was crazy. The whole time I'm sitting here thinking about this, I'm like, bro, this nigga is really selling weed. First off, oh, salute to St. John as well, bro. St. John was the dude that was painting. He's a music artist. He did a great job. He fit right in with everything. He even had his own funny moments. Like everything about this shit, bro, was it. Everything just fell in line. Everything was great. Um, I'm trying to think. Oh, so it was what was dude's name? The dude that they had to go to get the to pay the money back. What was his name? Uh
Oh man,
Jedediah.
yeah,
He did a hell of a job. He did a phenomenal job. First off, not only is this nigga the plug, this nigga also runs a harem.
man, that shit
Listen,
like that was. I was about to say he ran a brothel.
I mean same thing, but listen, bro. The funniness in all of this shit, like just the fact that they found like all the despicable biblical shit and like made that like a thing is amazing. That was great. Because these are the if you've ever read the Bible, if you ever been to Bible study, you know that these things are in the Bible. These things existed, right? So you know
Yeah,
like these are the type of things that was going on. These are the things that was happening. And for Clarence to be a non-believer but also be of this world made perfect sense. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like that's what I'm saying. Like when they really took their time and like put this motherfucker together because like that's the type of shit somebody like that would have been into in that time. It wasn't like no out of place shit. And it wasn't crazy. Like they didn't try to be like super goofy with it and make it like a strip club or nothing. It was like a real live harem or real live brothel, like some shit that you would see in that time. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Um what I also thought was great was the fact that you didn't see Jesus a lot in this movie. You forget that this movie is about the crucifixion of Jesus, but you're reminded of it, but because it's not Jesus being crucified, you don't even really think about Jesus like that.
Yeah.
He's really like in this, even in this movie, he's a mythical figure. You only see him ever so often, but when you see him, like you understand that it's Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But outside of seeing him, you kind of don't even remember that he's really in the movie, which I thought was also a good thing to do as well, because that kind of takes away the sting and the negativity of Clarence taking that path. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I thought that was brilliant of them to do that as well. Um, this nigga basically this nigga basically stole Jesus's hustle. That's what this
Yeah.
film is about.
Yeah.
He
That's what it's
stole
about.
Jesus' hustle.
That's what it's about. He went to try to get answers. He
Yeah,
didn't get no answers. So he was like,
yeah.
"Yo, look." He looked at his man, Elijah, like, "Look, you gonna be blind, and you gonna be this, you gonna be this, and we're gonna go around and just false prophets, basically. Like, just go."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "If he can do it, I can do it."
Word.
So then he builds this following, and like I said, man, it's all this movie is really trying to show you is that look how easy it is also to follow.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like you got one person who you hear stories about,
Mm-hmm.
right? You hear stories that he could do all of these miracles and do all of these amazing things, but you never seen it.
Right.
But everybody believes it. But
Mm-hmm.
then you got this person that goes around like, yo, I'm gonna do the same shit that he's doing, but I'm gonna show people these miracles, and people believe him.
Right.
So it's kind of like you really, if I think that if you're a very religious person, you'll watch this and you still gonna believe what you believe. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like nothing's gonna
Yeah,
change.
for sure.
You know. But I think if you that person that's kind of tinkering on the edge, you're kind of like, damn, you know what? All of this stuff that we hear about this one person, it's all myths. You know, we
Mm-hmm.
hear all these myths, and then you got this one dude who's doing the same shit, but he's tricking people,
Mm-hmm.
and they're still following. So it's kind of like, oh man, how we know that the first person didn't
But
was faking this shit?
you know what I also like about that too though, is the fact that they still show you him doing something. You feel
Yeah,
what I'm saying? They still show you him doing things, right? So like the perfect example is when Elijah went to go stop Mary Magdalene from being stoned. He was protecting
yeah,
her, right? And then Jesus walk up and freeze all the stones and drop them.
yeah.
And Elijah come back, he like, nigga,
He
I
was like, "Well, I
seen
saw
he
it."
was like, nigga, I seen this nigga do it. Like this nigga's the truth. Like I know we doing our thing, but no, this nigga, we need to get him
Hey,
we need to get
and
with him.
then and look how easily like they brushed that shit off so quick.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like clear, like I ain't trying to hear that
Yeah,
shit.
he like, hey man, what we doing working. We don't need we don't need nobody else. I'm sure you thought you saw it. He like, no, nigga, I seen it. He said, nigga, we was just getting hit with boulders, nigga. That nigga took that shit, was like, nah. So we seen him do that, right? And then like you spoke of at the scene that was supposed to be the Last Supper, when he was, you know what I'm saying, revealing that Judas was going, you know what I'm saying, give him up, he freezes everybody and Judas is still, you know what I'm saying, like fighting it. And he like, yo, whoever, you know what I'm saying, fight it is the one that I know who it is. So while everybody else is literally like they can't move, Judas is still moving. And I thought that was a very interesting
I thought Peter
excuse
was
me.
a traitor.
No, it was Judas
Oh, okay.
for 30 pieces
That's
of
right.
silver.
Judas and the Black Messiah. What the fuck am I talking about?
Yeah, 30 pieces of silver. So but I thought it was interesting of that because usually when you see this in um the movies about Jesus, he already knows what's gonna happen, and tells everybody, Judas, you'll be the one to betray me and give me up, and he basically telling them how everything gonna go down. He still told them how everything is gonna go down, but in that one, he kind of revealed who was gonna be the one to do it, and I thought that was a nice little spin on that as well. Um, but the funny thing is, I don't know if you caught this when they was when they was talking about Barabbas, and he was like, what do you say?
I'm immortal.
Yeah, I'm immortal. And it was like, yeah, sure. Right, you immortal. He like, no, I'm immortal. Like, I've been stabbed here, I've been stabbed here, I've been stabbed here, I've been stabbed here. And he started naming all these places he stabbed. He said, yeah, but they don't know my only true weakness is in my left ankle. You know, he said on the heel of my left foot. You know, that's Achilles. So that's basically, you know, that's the story that they tell about Achilles. So I'm like, yo, I'm now in my head, I'm thinking, yo, is that where they got the Achilles shit from? Like they stole the story of Achilles from Barabbas. I gotta go look this up now because I'm like, yo, that's an interesting thing. Or maybe it was just a joke. I don't know. I haven't looked it up yet. I gotta check it out though. But I thought that was very interesting, right? So you see
Mhm,
later on in the film, you see Barabbas getting hit with all these spears, and
mhm.
one of the centurions walk up on him, right? And you know he pulling out the spears, and then Burbage get up and you know what I'm saying, basically kill this nigga with one of the spears, pull the rest of the spears out, and just run off. And they like, oh shit, this nigga really is immortal. They
Yeah,
like,
he
oh
really
my god,
is.
yeah. So, but then the funny part is he gets hit in the foot, and in the while you watching it, when you see him get hit in the foot, you like, oh fuck, they killed him. But then he get up, he take it out, he like wrong foot, stupid motherfucker, said run off. And you like, oh shit, yeah, it's a level. So I thought that was a great point in the film. Another thing that I like too that they did, which was very interesting, was the dynamic between them and the Romans, right? And so you got like all of these people who not necessarily living in squander, but they not they not living the best life. You know what I'm saying? Compared to
Mhm,
the Roman centurions that's walking around and policing this place. And so they have this dialogue between the Romans and the people. And they actually have it two times. So the first time is when Clarence and Elijah are walking, and you know what I'm saying, Clarence got the weed on him or whatever, and the centurions come up. And this nigga, he, you know what I'm saying, he tossed the weed real quick. And they like,
yeah.
yo, you know what I'm saying? We looking for a suspect. I need your identification papers. So he handed to him and he like, yeah, you guys look like one of the suspects. No, he said you guys look like the suspect. So he was like, wait a minute. We both
Both of
look
us
like
look
the
like the
yeah, he said we both
suspect.
look like the suspect. He said, yeah. He said, can we see what the suspect look like? And then there's a picture of an Egyptian doing that. These niggas just start busting out rolling. Bro, I'm telling you, everything about this shit, bro. If you really know history and you really know enough of the Bible, bro, you will fucking cry laughing at some of these references that they making. The fact that this nigga had a hieroglyph, bro, on a fucking piece of papyrus and was like, it looked like this. So these niggas is like, oh man, he was like, so Elijah like, man, the hieroglyphs must be going crazy right now. That shit was funny as fuck, bro. I fuck with that shit. That shit was hilarious. But the second one was when they were coming, when Judas had told on them, and they were they were all out there, you know what I'm saying, basically fighting Jedediah and his people. And then the Centurions come and whatever, and then they all sitting out there watching, you know what I'm saying, Barabbas basically quote unquote, you know what I'm saying, get gunned down. And you know what I'm saying, like the people were sitting there like, yo, you know what I'm saying, like you motherfuckers come over here and y'all taking over this shit, like y'all running this shit. I thought that was very interesting for them putting that in that kind of context in this film. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
that was a real interesting dynamic that had went on. Because they were saying like, yo, you Romans come over, and you know what I'm saying, especially if you know the history of Rome and Greece, and you know what I'm saying, the shit that they was doing coming over to Africa and what's now called the Middle East, and taking shit over and stealing from them and all that type of shit. It was very, very interesting because they was saying, they was telling him like, yo, you can't believe in your God. So I thought that was super interesting in itself.
I'm
I
with you.
definitely
I'm
fuck
with
with
you on
that.
that one. I'm with you on that one because I mean, it's only right, man, to put that in this type of a film because
Hmm.
hell, it could have been them who sent the artist there, the only pipe, the paint, the one only white dude. You know what I mean? Try to
Hmm.
say, yo, because they don't want to admit, like, yo, we can't admit that this one black guy got all of these powers and
Hmm.
and doing all of these miracles and all this type stuff. So we're gonna crucify all of these people we're gonna say that this is because there was a reason why he was put up front. Because there was like fucking 20 crosses out there. You know what I'm saying? With people hanging up there. And also something that I thought was funny is so most people know that Leonardo da Vinci painted the Last Supper,
Yeah.
right? And I remember I was oh man, I was watching something on Instagram and they was like filming somebody and they was like, yeah, Leonardo da Vinci did the Last Supper. Yeah, he drew them all while they was sitting there.
Yo, real quick though. Hold on, wait. Not for nothing. I know it's not true, but it ain't too far fetched that could have happened.
Dude, man, Leonardo da Vinci was not
No, I
like
know he was later on down the line. I'm saying, but it's not too far fetched that could happen. Because if you really think about it, just think about this, right? If you think about the time that like, hold on real quick, because I could put it in better perspective if I actually know some more of the dates, right? But if you think about the time that we talking, bro, think about this. Think about the fact that Leonardo da Vinci is what? He's Italian.
I think he was.
I know he's not French, but I want to say he Italian. So right, so basically they saying that hold on, because I want to make sure I'm saying this right. I don't want to give out any all right, so look, right? Put it like this. They say Jesus died in 30 BC, okay? The Spartans fought um the people from the Ottoman Empire. No, am I saying that right? It might not be the Ottoman Empire. But the people fought the Spartans
Yeah.
fought the Persians. That's what I'm trying to say. In 480 BC. So only 450 years after Jesus died. That's not that far off, bro.
And Leonardo da Vinci, he was Italian. He was born April 15th, 1452.
Mhm. So I stand corrected. But that's what I'm saying though. Like
So
just the fact that the areas ain't that far away though. I will say that. But I'm just saying like the Spartans was 480 BC. I mean AD. You feel what I'm saying?
yeah,
So that's pretty close, bro.
yeah, but he didn't sit there and do that shit.
No, for sure. He definitely didn't. I know that for a fact.
But
And it's
there
still
are
like,
people who think he did.
yeah, yeah.
There are some
Well, I
people,
mean,
and I think,
it is all over the fucking Vatican, bro.
well, yeah, but I also think that with but because the story is still fresh at those times, so I'm pretty sure like for him to have
Oh,
that
it's fresh than a
creativity
motherfucker.
to what I'm saying, to draw it
It's
the
only
way
a
that he
thousand years.
did.
It's only 1,000 years away.
Yeah, so like I think that with his being creative as he is, and
Hmm.
putting the faces to it and putting like these little hidden messages
Hmm.
inside of the shit, you know, it was done so brilliantly to where you could think that he sat there and
Possibly
etched
did.
that
Yeah,
shit. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Why they were there, but I just
Well,
thought that
you
that
got
was funny.
it's people that think that the picture that goes around of Jesus is Jesus, and that's not Jesus.
Yeah,
His name, the person that's in that picture that everybody sees is Jesus. Like when he got
yeah,
the little look and long hair and shit. That's a person named Caesar Borgia.
yeah. And see, and that's what I'm saying. 'Cause first of all, there was no photographs back then, so
Word.
we don't know what anybody in those times looked like. So all of
I
this
mean,
shit is
unless they
made up.
got painted.
But
Oh, you talking
The
about
thing is,
you talking about in like Jesus time?
yeah, BC and all
Oh
that type
yeah,
of shit.
yeah, hell
Like,
no, unless they
yeah,
like
it
on a
wasn't nothing. It
hieroglyph or
was,
something.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, there was really nothing back then to really, you know what I'm saying? They had the chisel shit probably. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think I don't even think they were inking shit back then. So
No,
there was
they painted it. That's what the hieroglyphs are. It's painting. They still paint it.
paint that shit on what?
Stone,
No.
tablets, papyrus, all kind of shit.
Well, I mean, they could have put it on stone because that's what everything was being put on back then.
I mean,
So
shit,
yeah,
papyrus. Remember they had when they was doing the ID. That's what the scrolls and shit was made of.
that's right. Because they did give them a stroll. When they had met the Roman guy, because he had and then like I said, he asked to see their papers and
Okay,
shit.
let me
So
tell you what's even crazier, bro. Let me tell you what's even crazier. Jesus died. They say Jesus died 30, right?
I think
30
so.
AD.
I think it was
Bro, Cleopatra was born in 69 BC, my nigga. Think about that.
BC or
BC,
AD.
bro. No, BC,
Ooh,
bro. That's what I'm saying. So, nigga, like, that's what if when you that's what I'm trying to say. When you know history, or like even if you have just like a inkling of what like the time span of history, shit ain't too
yeah.
far fetched with certain shit, bro.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, cause shit, Cleopatra might have been around when like Moses was around, my nigga.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's wild, bro. You feel what I'm saying? That's wild.
Yeah. What's even wilder is fucking Elizabeth Taylor played that motherfucker in
That's
like
wild. That's
the
wild as fuck.
40s or some shit.
Oh, wait a minute though. Time out. Top notch milk, bro.
Yo, let me tell you something. When I saw her in fucking Cleopatra, I was like, yo, because I didn't get, 'cause, you know, I always seen her as an old woman. I was like,
I mean, even
what?
older, she wasn't. She was a
Yeah,
looker.
I mean, she was cool, man. When I seen her with Michael Jackson at that damn Michael Jackson
I
that
mean,
big
nah,
ass
but I
concert
mean,
that he
then
did with his brothers
they
and
had
shit,
her hair
I
spiked
was
all
like,
up. She had
yeah,
black
I was like,
eyeliner, thick as fuck. Yeah, that she looked
yeah,
crazy then. I'm just
I was
saying,
like, why they got her so high up, man? I saw her in
a
Cleopatra when
young
she was
a
like
young Elizabeth
21 or some
Taylor,
shit.
yeah, a young Elizabeth
Hey,
Taylor
I
is
was
top notch
like,
milk, bro,
damn.
for
I was like,
sure,
oh yeah. I was like,
for
fuck. I was like, I didn't know
sure.
she was that fine. Yeah,
Body
yeah.
crazy,
She was fine as fuck being
body
Cleopatra.
crazy.
Yes,
I get it.
yes.
I get it.
Yeah, I get it. I get
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But that's wild.
Like it made sense as to why all the old ladies in church was wearing white diamonds. Like, yeah, I get it. Yeah, for sure. Why not? But nah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, like when you really look into history, bro, and like look into the timelines and shit, like a lot of shit that we learn about is wild as fuck to know the time span of shit. You know what I'm saying? And I know
Yeah,
with like the Bible, it's a little bit different because like the Bible don't give you no dates. The Bible just tells you the stories, right? But when
yeah,
you actually look into the scholars and the I forgot what the theologists, that's what it's called. The theologists who, you know what I'm saying, like study these works and look into these things and you know what I'm saying, like can actually try to put dates on them. Yeah, bro, that's crazy.
yeah. It
You know what
definitely
I'm
is.
saying?
But but to close it out. But I thought that this was a very great remix, man, of how they was able to put this shit together. Giving us a story that really is a little bit more believable in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And then to think that all of this shit really started because Clarence owed my man some money. I
Word.
had to figure out, you know what I'm saying? But then ended up, seeing, along the way, into running into Thomas and all this type of shit and telling him that he's a nobody and all of this shit, for him to, get the money that he needed and to go and, he went to try to get all the slaves. The first time, and my dude only gave him one slave.
Mm-hmm.
And then was like, basically that he could buy them all or whatever. So he gets all of this money from going around faking all of these miracles. And instead of paying my dude his money back, he goes and buys all the slaves for
Yeah,
the,
freeze them all.
to
Yep.
give them their freedom. So I thought that, to think that, he made that unselfish decision. And I think that's why, you know, I'm guessing and I'm gonna ask you, did you think the same thing? Is that's why Jesus gave him the ability to walk on water at the end?
Yeah, you
Was
know
like,
what? That was interesting. But I do think that was the turning point, right? Because the whole time that they're doing this, you could kind of see like he wasn't feeling cool about what they was doing. You know what I'm saying? He kind of felt the way
yeah,
after a while it's starting to show like it was kind of weighing on him that he was doing this because he, you know what I'm saying, he felt wrong. And that wasn't in his nature to be that way, right? Like anytime he was hustling or anytime he was doing something, and yeah, he was selling weed, but he was doing it in an honest, you know what I'm saying, like in an honest nature. Like his whole thing was just trying to do right by his mom. You know what I'm saying? He quote
yeah,
unquote wanted to get his mom out the hood. You know what I'm saying? Um so when he was actually doing all this shit, like it ended up being the things that he was doing was good deeds. You know what I'm saying? The first deed he did was to go free Barabbas. And that was just because he was trying to get in with the disciples. But shit, he was like, hey, I freed one of them. Like y'all told me if I can get one elite, you know what I'm saying? So he goes back and because he didn't feel right about them being slaves, he like, yo, no man should own no slave. Remember, he's doing all of these, or he's practicing all of these speeches, but as he's practicing these speeches, he's realizing, like, yo, the shit that I'm saying, like, I believe in it though, but it's like, yo, this is weighing a little bit heavier than I thought it would be. And remember, on the one speech when he had to say that he was the new Messiah, he couldn't even say it. Elijah had to push him to say that. So
yep,
all in all, he ended up through the stuff that he was doing, even though it was all scamming and, you know what I'm saying, swindling, like he ended up really going down the path of making himself a believer. So I thought that was interesting too. So I think all in all, like because he was doing everything trying to do something good in total, that's why he ended up, you know what I'm saying, Jesus blessed him with the ability to walk on water. And then, you know what I'm saying, at the end, Jesus, you know what I'm saying, resurrected him from death because of the good shit he was doing. So I thought that was super interesting, man.
I did too, man.
All right, so it's about that time, man. You ready to do the I'm about to say coming soon, looking at this damn screen. Ready to do the fire flames.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
Yoga fire! Yoga flame!
So what you got?
Um, like you mentioned earlier, man, the cast was, it was loaded, man. It was a lot of people in there, man. Didn't expect to see Professor X in there. Um,
Yeah, James
you
McAvoy,
know,
man. Yeah.
yeah, so but nah, man, the cast man was top notch, man. We already gave Lakeith Stanfield his flowers. With the creativeness that they was able to do with this, this isn't something that I would have like naturally watched,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm glad I did watch it. And with basically getting 1.5 watches in on this is something that I could see myself rewatching again.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna give this movie, man, off of what I seen. Um, you know what? I was gonna give it a 4, but I might push it to a 4.5. I think that this is something um that I can kind of see myself getting more into, man, because like I said, I wanted to watch it that second time around
Yeah.
because I think that there are some jokes and stuff or certain
Mm-hmm.
things that you may miss that first time. And I think that, with rewatching it multiple times, you'll be able to pick up on every single thing that was going on. And
Right.
like you said, there's a lot of, what I'm saying? I was about to say undertone, but like,
No,
you know
you
what I'm
that's the
saying?
right
Yeah,
that's
like,
probably the most precise word.
yeah, like undertone jokes that are in there that it's like, oh shit, for some people it'll go over your head. And I
Mm-hmm.
felt like some of the stuff probably did, and I want to watch it again.
Yeah.
And because that's why I was gonna give it a 4, but I was like, you know what? I said let me go ahead and bump this to a 4.5.
Man, listen, we on the same page, bro. I was gonna give it a 5, but I said I'm super biased in this, so I'm gonna bring it down a notch because of that. I want to give it a 5. To me, it's a 5, but I'm gonna be honest and say it's a 4.5 because I think, like you said, the cast. We didn't even mention David. What's his Olayunwu? You know what I'm saying? We ain't
Yeah,
mentioned
yeah,
him.
he
We
was.
ain't mentioned Alfred Woodard. I mean, like, this is a cast. Like, they got some people to do this. But not only that, man, the acting was good. It wasn't, you didn't see anybody and was like, oh, they don't really fit in there. So I thought that was great, right? Then you got the jokes, you know what I'm saying? You got the seriousness. It's also a love story. You know what I'm saying? It's also a story of triumph. It's also a story of belief. And I mean, it's so much packed into one movie, and they did it flawlessly. I didn't really see anything in there that I didn't like. I didn't see anything in there that kind of turned me off to it. I thought the people that played the Romans did a spectacular job. You know what I'm saying? They did a great job. They held their own. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're doing a movie like this, to have those people in it and you felt like, we always say it when it comes to the antagonist. If you like the antagonist, that's usually a problem. If you don't like the antagonist, they doing a hell of a job. And they did a hell of a job being strict assholes. They did a great job at that. But not only that, man, just to know that the creativity, you know what I'm saying, the freshness of a movie like this, if we can get more stuff, not necessarily on a biblical topic or whatever, but if we can just get, like, you know what I'm saying, like, for me, like, if we had a remake like this, right, like, you know, later on down the line we got like King Kong and Godzilla coming up, and you know what I'm saying, we've even talked about the previous films. The creativity that they have with King Kong and Godzilla makes you want to go watch it. Like, stuff like that, right? The fact that they added the inner earth theory, you know what I'm saying, to the King Kong and Godzilla shit. Shit like that. Like, let's get creative for real, man. I don't mind the remakes, but put a spin on that shit. Make it dope. King Kong Godzilla is some fire shit when you really look at it. Like, the fact that they got a nigga in there doing a podcast about the fucking, you know what I'm saying, the incidents with Godzilla, and like, that shit is dope, bro. So when you do stuff like that to films, even if you're doing a remake, or even if you're doing your own version of it, or you know what I'm saying, whatever the case may be, a reboot, whatever, make it interesting, make it modern, make it fun. You know what I'm saying? Make it to where people can somewhat relate to it, and I think we'll get better films out of this. This to me is one of those things. You know what I'm saying? The Harder They Fall is also in that same vein. You know what I'm saying? They made a modern western, but they made it interesting. They use, you know what I'm saying, the characters that they used, you know what I'm saying, the comedy that they used, the cast. It was just, it's a great piece of work. This falls right in line. Excuse me, right in line with it. So yeah, I'm going 4.5 as well.
Okay,
All right, so let's go ahead and get into the coming soon, man.
let's do it.
Coming soon to own on video and DVD.
So the next one, um, I want to apologize in advance because I'm not sure how many people are going to be able to understand me as I'm talking, because it's going to be a lot of laughter in that episode. I promise you, it's going to be a lot of laughter in that episode. Um, we're covering Forgetting Sarah Marshall. If you haven't seen it, find it, go see it, and if you have seen it, you can, you know what I'm saying, rewatch it before you listen to the episode, or listen to the episode and go back and rewatch it. But I promise you, When I tell you that, you know what I'm saying, if you need a good laugh, if you've been down and out lately or some bad stuff happened to you, watch this film and it will lift your spirits
It definitely will, man.
for
This shit
sure.
is hilarious, man.
Yes. Yes, indeed. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this episode, if you didn't enjoy this episode, if you too were amazed at the fact that Benedict Cumberbatch is basically the new Jesus, hit us up, let us know. Hit us
It
up and let
really
us
was.
know on all our socials, man. Instagram, Twitter at ViewAnon You can hit us up on Facebook, VA Pod Watch Group, or you can hit us up on YouTube. Link, I'm sorry, link. Leave messages and comments on the videos. I know. I still got to upload the videos. Y'all got to work with me. It's a lot of soccer going on in my life right now that I'm not playing. So just bear with me. But the videos are coming up. I promise you guys. And don't forget our Patreon, patreon.com/viewers anonymous. Join that one tier only. You can get all the stuff from there. So all our behind the scenes, everything that we do. Check this out. Get with it. Um, oh, and if you'd like to follow me personally, hit me up on Twitter at Scoots Bronson. Link tree in the bio. You can find me everywhere else there. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, y'all can find me at s.foster8 on Instagram, Twitter, well X, TikTok. Follow the podcast 28 minutes or less. It's on all major platforms. The last episode is episode 151, which is J. Edgar Hoover. So go check that out. And that's all I got.
Real quick, we got to talk about this off air. You know what I'm saying? But I got an idea, man. Uh, I think that we should find one of the newer movies and do not necessarily a live pod, but do like a live discussion. You know what I'm saying? About that joint. And you know what I'm saying, talk with the people about it. See if they feel in the movie or not. So we gotta find one and you know what I'm saying, do all that. So maybe that's something we'll do later on down the line, but we'll talk a little bit more about it.
Okay.
Um but thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Your support is always greatly appreciated. Without you, there could be no us. Um, and until the next episode, like they say in Hollywood, that's a wrap.
Cut.